good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Bruce, how are you? How was the weekend?
The weekend was good, Eric. I hope yours as well. I'm trying to think of what I occupied myself with. A little bit of Wimbledon, actually, which was odd for me, but I found myself pulled to the Skinner-Alcaraz match. A little bit of Rockies, a very little bit of Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's about it, I think, really. Red Sox won 10 straight, so I got that going for me.
The Red Sox, yeah. So the Red Sox have won.
Red Sox have won 10 straight to finish.
Over the weekend, I went to go see the new Superman movie. Okay? I like Superman.
All right.
I'm not a big Marvel guy. I'm more traditional that way, I suppose. That Superman movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Ever. I pride myself on seeing good movies. Don't walk out of movies. If I see a movie and it's bad, I will turn it off immediately. With that, did you read the Superman comics when you were growing up?
No, I wasn't much of a comics guy. Mad Magazine, a little bit. I mean, I got into Mad, so.
Okay. Me as well. So I come home after watching the movie, and I just kind of go off on it on social media, and somebody points out to me, and accurately, I'm sure, that in the comics, what I was complaining about actually happened in the comics, which I think is stupid. Number one, Superman apparently has a superhuman dog that can do superhuman things. Unless that dog came from Krypton, that's not possible. That's number one. Number two, Superman doesn't bleed. Right at the beginning, Superman's bleeding. Maybe it was in the comics. Superman doesn't bleed. He just doesn't, sorry. Yeah. And that's what I have to say about that movie review.
Well, fair enough. I mean, it didn't move you. Shame on them. Yeah.
It was poor on so many different levels, but I know there are a lot of people that really, really liked it.
Yeah.
Sorry, if Superman bleeds, I don't need to go see it. With that,
yeah.
Want to tell you about the Sportsbook Bar and Grill, two great locations. One in the DTC, one in Highlands Ranch. Football season is right around the corner. Where are you watching your games? Where are you watching the Nuggets this year? And the Avalanche? Where are you watching the Rockies right now? How about European soccer, rugby? How about some UFC? They have it all there at the Sportsbook Bar and Grill. Outstanding menu as well. I do takeout from there. That's how good I think it is. Sportsbook Bar and Grill. You can find them in the DTC Highlands Ranch and coming soon to Parker. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Bruce, did you do the show last night?
Yes.
Okay. How did you lead the Valanciunas story?
Just that the deal has been finalized.
Oh, my God. You are my hero.
Yes.
And I'll tell you why. Because I'm seeing on social media, I'm hearing local media, Jonas Valanciunas is officially a Nugget. Technically, you're right. Technically, when a team in the NFL has the most yards, they are technically the number one offense in the league. Okay? There are a lot of things that are technical, but just aren't accurate. Right. And when I hear, allow me just to rant for a second.
Go.
I have a bee in my bonnet about this. Yes, I'm 57 years old, or soon to be. You are in your 60s. Between the two of us, we have about 75 years of experience in this business. Now, I certainly understand young kids coming up, they're doing blogs and they're doing all kinds of different things that we did when we started off in the business. But if you want to be in the business, you don't have to call yourself a journalist, and that's okay. But at least in theory, get your facts straight. If you want to be a sportscaster, make sure you know these things. You ready, Bruce?
I'm ready.
There is a difference between being cut and being waived. Learn it and understand it. There is a difference between agreed to terms and signed. learn the difference. There is a difference between re-aggravating an injury and aggravating an injury. There is no such thing as re-aggravating anything. To my friends in the news business, there is no such thing as a horrible tragedy. All tragedies are horrible. Even when a tornado rips through an entire town and destroys it, it's a tragedy. It is not a horrible strategy or tragedy. And finally, the thing that pisses me off as much as anything else, if you walk into the Broncos locker room and all the guys are standing at their lockers and you talk to somebody, but for that day nobody else did, it's not an exclusive.
No. It's just no one else talked to.
So technically, to all the dingbats out there who said Jonas Valanciunas is officially a Nugget, way to mislead people. Yeah. Yes, as you said accurately, because you're a pro, the trade has gone through. Technically, you're right. He's officially a Nugget. But use a little care with your verbiage and your words because they mean something. Oh, if I heard Jonas Valanciunas is officially a Nugget, you know what I'm thinking? He has no interest in going to Greece.
Right.
Right?
Right. Absolutely. What everybody needs to know is the Nuggets control his contract. That's the deal. The Nuggets control his contract. And where it goes from this point forward remains to be seen. The Nuggets control the contract. Valanciunas has been traded for Dario Saric. That deal is final. Dario Saric now on his way to Sacramento. Valanciunas, property of the Denver Nuggets.
Property.
Doesn't
Is that an interesting word to use? Your property. Your contract is property.
Yes.
You have to work for this person.
Yes.
No matter what.
It's transferable. That's what happens in trades.
Right.
You assume, barring some form of negotiation, you assume that person's contract.
Correct.
So that's where we are at this point. I mean, I don't think that they're giving him a jersey number yet. I don't think that he's got a locker next to Jokic's yet.
Right.
It's not there. Could get there.
Yeah.
Might get there. Maybe you could bet that it gets there. I don't know, but we're not there yet. That's all.
Sorry to go on that rant. Let's move on.
Right.
Rockies draft Ethan Holliday. If his last name sounds familiar, he used to hit wiffle balls in the Rockies clubhouse when he was a little guy. And I was there. Now, granted, I remember more of Jackson, who now plays for the Orioles, than I do Ethan, who was just drafted by the Rockies with the 4th overall pick. With that, hardly a sentimental decision just because his dad is Matt. This is a really good prospect. And some believed he was the top prospect in the draft when it comes to upside. With that, what do you think about Ethan Holliday?
I thought it was a very good pick. I don't know if I would have been angry. I would have been perplexed if they hadn't made that pick when it fell to them at number 4.
Right.
This is a left-handed power hitting 6'4", 210-pound, 18-year-old, just turned 18-year-old from Stillwater, Oklahoma, which, of course, is where Oklahoma State University is, and that's where his grandfather, Tom Holliday, was a long-time pitching coach and then head coach at Oklahoma State. That's why the Hollidays are all in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I thought it was a really good pick. Now, the problem that the Rockies have had is sometimes they make the good pick, but now what do you do to develop the pick? And you're developing an 18-year-old. So your fingerprints are going to be all over this young man. He's not a college-aged, ready type of talent. So I think that's probably 3 years minimum. 4 years is probably more likely before we see him in the big leagues. I've heard through very good sources, guys that have had eyes on him, that he is a swing and miss kind of guy.
Yep.
But tremendous power.
Huge power.
Huge power.
He's built like his dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry to Jackson, who was still the number 1 overall pick in his
Right.
draft, is playing for the Orioles right now, but he's not built like his dad.
No.
Not his fault.
No.
It just is what it is. But I'll say this because people want to compare Jackson to Ethan or want to know the difference between the two. Simply put, Jackson was far more ready to play in the majors than Ethan is right now. Let's just start right there. Jackson is a better defensive player right now than Ethan is. But Ethan, as you just accurately said, Bruce, this guy has middle of the lineup power. Now, granted, he only played in high school, but you have to project this stuff out.
Right.
This kid has a chance to be a middle of the order franchise kid.
No question. And loved listening to him yesterday. He's been very well groomed by Matt, his parents. He has a humble, very appreciative outside that makes him feel really good about what's on the inside for those of us looking at him from the outside in. And I love that about him. The fact that he said all the right things about being with the Rockies, said all the right things about what he has to learn, said all the right things about, I've got a lot to learn, a lot of maturity, a lot of intricacies in my swing. My swing will be nothing like it is right now. He understands all of this. And of course, he's got a dad that lived all of this. And by the way, one that kind of profiled very similar to what Ethan is going to profile. So, good move by the Rockies. I think it was a good pick by them.
I had a long conversation with somebody who's been very close to the Rockies organization for a long time. And the point that you brought up is the point that I'm going to piggyback on. The Rockies might know how to draft, but they don't know how to develop, or they do know how to develop and they have no idea how to draft. So to your concern of Jackson Holliday getting bad coaching, poor development in the minor league system, the guy who I talked to said, as sure as the sun is going to set tonight, he said, there's nothing to worry about. I said, how is that possible? He said, Matt Holliday is his coach.
That's the key.
And everybody in the Rockies organization understands that. They have that much respect for Matt that if a coach in rookie ball says to do this, I don't know how Ethan is going to react to that. Matt's his coach.
Yes.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it being developed the wrong way.
And should be. I mean, this is a guy that hit 300 plus home runs in the big leagues. This is a guy that's played in a World Series. This is a guy that's played in big games all the way through his career. This is a guy that knows how to do it at the major league level. Why in the world would he put his future in the hands of anyone else when Matt is such an obviously willing coach beyond just being his dad?
Okay, let me ask you something.
Father.
Hold on, let me ask you something. Okay, your dad was a coach, right?
Yes.
Okay. You played high school baseball?
Yes.
Played college baseball?
Yes.
Okay. I understand the name Matt Holliday is still Matt Holliday. I certainly understand that. But when your dad told you to do something over and over again, trying to fix your swing, trying to fix this, did you tend to listen to your dad more or your coaches more?
My dad.
Oh, so you basically blew off your coaches.
Didn't blow off my coaches. You asked me who I listened to more. I listened to more of my dad. My dad was captain of the hockey team at Dartmouth. He played football and baseball in college, and was a very successful coach throughout his career.
So let me ask you a specific
I just
question.
respected him that way.
Okay, let's say for the sake of argument, they want to give you a way to hit the ball better, see the ball better. They tell you to toe tap. And your father said, don't even think about it, Bruce. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, as I was growing up, I would listen to my father, but I would also listen to others to gain I mean, you never just cut one bit of information off. I mean, knowledge is power, right? So you listen to things and then you incorporate maybe a little bit to see how it feels and the types of results you got. I mean, I got to Wichita State and Gene Stevenson was my hitting coach. Now, Gene Stevenson won like 3 batting titles in the old Big 8 at Missouri and is probably one of the finest hitting coaches in college baseball history, not to mention a coach of a national championship program and one of the winningest coaches in college baseball history. So when I get to that level, you're damn right I'm paying attention to him. And even he couldn't help me that much. I mean, so that's a fact of the matter. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have a guy like Matt Holliday, who beyond what my father was able to give me, played at the big league level with success and was basically the same type of profile as his son is going to be. Are you kidding me? It's an absolute no-brainer. And the Rockies, if they're smart, will just leave it alone and let them percolate.
And that's what I was told what likely will happen. So with that, when I heard that he got drafted, I actually felt badly for him. Now, the same person I talked to about how the Rockies are going to approach Ethan Holliday as a hitter, like let Matt take care of it because they have so much respect for Matt. Listen, the coaches are going to coach too. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're going to shut up. It's not going to keep their mouth shut around him. Matt Holliday got frustrated with this organization, wanted to get paid, wanted to go to a winning team, even though he went to a World Series that we all could see in hindsight was a total aberration. All due respect to every single guy on that team. With that, I felt badly for him because I'm thinking this guy is walking into an organization that disses anything that is dysfunctional. And honestly, I feel badly for Jackson too. He's with a crap organization as well. But I'm thinking, but from what I was told, even though they live in Stillwater, Matt Holliday, remember, came back here.
Right, he did. Yes, he did.
2018.
Yep.
He likes I don't want to call it religious because I think that's too strong. Matt Holliday and his family like the family-centered,
very much. Right. Yep.
Type of atmosphere that we all have something in common, or most of us have something in common. And that's been that way for years in the Rockies organization. But Matt Holliday likes that, and I think he likes it for Ethan.
Yeah.
But who knows how long is the guy going to be here? What if Scott Boras starts representing him?
Well, I mean, those are all elements of the game that you have to be taken into account. There's no question about it. It felt right at the time that they made the pick. Mm-hmm. It feels right this morning for a lot of the reasons that we're talking about. I do think that there's a comfortability that Matt has with his knowledge of the front office. Heck, even the guys on the call last night, Patrick and Thomas Harding and Patrick Saunders, guys that have covered the club for many, many years. I mean, he's got familiarity with those guys the second he sees them on a Zoom call that he's now doing all these years later with his son. So there are lots of things that he knows and understands about the franchise, not the least of which is that they have sucked for a long time.
There's one thing I feel good about, Bruce, is starting at the end of this season, and I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket on this guy.
Right.
Ethan Holliday, eventually when he comes up, will be walking into the Walker Monfort era. Not the Dick Monfort era, the Walker Monfort era. And oh, by the way, Matt's probably going to know one less person in that front office by the time he eventually arrives at Coors Field. And I would say with a lot of certainty that Bill Schmidt's not going to be around after this season either.
Well, it would be, to me, and this is not a personal statement, that would be the most disappointing development. If Bill Schmidt With his track, I just don't see how you could possibly move forward with any kind of building of trust with your fan base. I just can't see it.
Walker's in charge now.
Yeah.
Walker's the type of kid, despite Dick being his father, will speak up to his father in front of the entire group, from what I've been told. He has pretty strong opinions. For years, he has wanted to make changes, and he kept getting pushback. And I'm guessing the conversation went something like this, although I can't say it definitively. Dick walking up to Walker, would like to promote you to vice president of whatever. And I'm guessing Walker, I can't say that he said it, but he might have. Dad, I would love to take this job, but you got to let me run this franchise. I'm not going to do it if I'm being overseen on every single move that you're going to overrule. You got to give me some autonomy, or else there's no point in taking this job.
I think anyone sensible would, even with it being a family decision. Now, here's the key. I'm hopeful. You're hopeful. We're both probably a little skeptical because we've got to see it. We've got to see the demonstrated ability. We have to see the Rockies making decisions that make sense towards improving as a franchise. Change is good, but good change is better.
Bruce, here, this is where Walker Monfort has a huge advantage. It can't go any worse.
It can't be worse.
I mean, literally, the bar.
It can't be.
The bar isn't low; it's underground. He's going to show up one day as the boss, in theory, and things are going to get better just because Dad's not getting involved. It's really that simple. With that, coming up after the break, as of right now, Jahdae Barron, R.J. Harvey, not signed with the Broncos. Rookie camp is Wednesday. How concerned should the Broncos be? That's next. Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties.
the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a pair of Spider Cruisers or over $15,000 in cash the weekend of July 18th, just in time for the Sturgis Bike Rally in South Dakota. That's right, your choice, cruisers or $15,000 in cash. Get finalist entries every 45 minutes from 10 a.m. to midnight during their daily cash drawing with a locked-up jackpot of $100 or more. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, new slots, great promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
And welcome back. Hot Takes Goodman and Haertl. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. Your family should trust the Ferguson family for all your heating and cooling needs, and you'll see why they have over 165 5-star Google reviews. Make an appointment today at fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
All right, Bruce, as of right now, neither Jahdae Barron, R.J. Harvey have been signed. Rookies report to training camp on Wednesday. How much does it really matter if either guy shows up exactly on Wednesday? And I'll piggyback onto that. How important is it for both of those guys to be there for the start of training camp?
I mean, I think it's important. And I think it's important just in terms of the optics. Now, look, I respect each.
What
it's
optics?
A business.
What
I
optics?
mean, the optics of everybody being present, everyone being there, everybody being there on time and no distractions, nothing that can be twisted by media or, I think you just want to get on the field, get to work and get to being a pro. But I understand it. This is a business. This is their guy's livelihood. So I do appreciate it, certainly on that level. It's just for me personally, I wouldn't like starting with a stutter step. I'd like to be there and go through the door, be one of the guys, get to work, figure out the economics. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know this. Jahdae Barron is just one of 2 first-rounders that hasn't been signed. There's a bunch of second-rounders that haven't been signed yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens on Wednesday.
Okay, let me piggyback on that. Do I think Jahdae Barron will be there by Wednesday? I do.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, 2 number 1 picks have not been signed. I don't understand what the problem is. Everything is slotted. Maybe he just wants more guaranteed money, whatever it is. I think they'll figure it out. As far as Harvey goes, that could be a while. And here's the reason why. There are 36 players from the NFL draft that are currently unsigned. I'm just going to extrapolate on what you said. 30 of them were drafted in the second round.
Yeah,
30.
odd, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not odd. It's not odd. Because the backstory explains why it's not odd. Second round draft picks don't get fully guaranteed contracts. Right. Cleveland and Houston decided to give their second round picks fully guaranteed contracts. Now everybody wants fully guaranteed contracts, and there's going to be a pecking order. Granted, everything is still slotted, but would you give a fully guaranteed contract to a running back?
No.
Right. So that could even take a longer amount of time.
Good.
But what I'm wondering is, I cannot believe Jimmy Haslam, although with him I would believe it, who's the owner of Cleveland.
Right.
Then again, this is Jimmy Haslam. This doesn't surprise me at all with Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam is the idiot that gave Deshaun Watson a fully guaranteed contract. He is also the guy that broke ranks from all NFL owners by offering a guaranteed deal to a second-round pick. Now, Houston's owner did it as well, but that's why this is such a logjam right now.
Yeah. So these are things that have to be overcome because you're right. I mean, the NFL is so copycat on so many different levels. 2 guys get guaranteed contracts. Now everybody's got to get them. It's not going to happen. So how it all gets worked out, will be interesting. But I would imagine that you've got an R.J. Harvey who is probably chomping at the bit to be in camp. I think that he probably understands the opportunity that he has right now. There's no leverage really for them at this particular point. He's a second round draft pick coming in, yes, in a position of need, but they've also got J.K. Dobbins. So I would imagine that I can't imagine you use the right term. It could go on a while. Can't imagine that would make R.J. Harvey very comfortable.
How many days of missed training camp would it hit a point where you started to feel uncomfortable for either guy?
Oh, I think if they're not there by the time that the full squad.
Really?
By the time the full squad. I mean, that's a week from what veterans report a week from Tuesday. I mean, unless they're just so far away, figure out the distance between and get it taken care of. I'm sure there will be opportunities to do that. I think I would start to get a little bit. I mean, they're rookies. And Jahdae Barron is mature beyond his years, a la Bo Nix, a la Pat Surtain before him. We understand that. But, rookies, they got to get in there. Their learning curve is a lot steeper. And especially at a position, the way that R.J. Harvey is being used with Sean Payton. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts that he needs to know about. And you want him to get in physically and start learning pass pro, because he hasn't had any physicality in his pass protection yet. They've done drills, but he needs to be hitting people. So I don't know. There's a lot of things that make it. Go ahead.
It is just unfortunate that the Broncos took a running back in the second round, which is that's where the problems are right now with the entire NFL and the players who were drafted at a position that the Broncos desperately need to flash this season, because you're going in with a veteran running back in J.K. Dobbins, right, who has a history of injuries. And then how good do you feel about Audric Estime being your starting running back? Sorry, Audric. It's not that I feel this way. The Broncos feel this way. That's why they drafted Harvey. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't be the starting running back. The Broncos told you that. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and maybe that is the leverage that R.J. Harvey has, but you still got to prove that you can do it first. And has he proven it through OTAs and mini camps and things of that nature? Not necessarily. I think he's impressed. I think that when you watch, you see a guy that can do a lot of really very intriguing things, but in terms of what he's like playing in anger between the tackles or picking up a linebacker on a blitz or whatever the case may be, we don't know that yet. So let's get this done. Let's get it taken care of. You sure as heck don't want to get to next week where that question is being asked every single day. Hey, what about your two rookies? How close are we? I mean, you know how that's going to go over.
Peyton has an easy answer about Harvey. An easy answer, which is everybody wants guaranteed contracts. And those two teams, Houston, Cleveland, in theory, they didn't collude. They anti-colluded. They did exactly what the owners don't want them to do. Okay, right?
Right.
Barron would be a major disappointment not to have him in camp to start on Wednesday. It would be a disappointment if he's not there on Wednesday. It would be a major disappointment if he's not there for the start of training camp. Which position?
Yes, I would say so.
Which position needs training camp more? Is it a running back, rookie, or a cornerback, rookie?
I think normally you would say corner, just because of the intricacies of covering at the next level and the types of players that you're covering at the next level. But I think that Jahdae Barron is I think he is an advanced kind of talent. He's just one of those rare guys that seems to get it. The way that he moves, the positions that he plays in, the understanding of elements of playing safety, playing in the box. He does a lot of things. He's got a lot of knowledge already. Yep. I think in this case, and it may not always be the case, I think it's probably the running back simply because of the potential for, I'll use the word, the whole Joker thing and what you have to do to be that kind of player for Sean Payton in this offense. It's going to be a lot of learning for R.J. Harvey, who I'm sure is doing the work. By everything that I have heard about the guy, he loves the work. He immerses himself in it. But there's a difference in learning it in the book and being on the field. You need to be on the field. You need to be applying those things that you've learned via the book and the playbook. But you've got to be on the field practicing them.
Something just occurred to me when you play the game. Which player would you rather have? Everyone has played that game, right? So we're going to play it right now, but I'm going to phrase it differently to you.
All right.
Jahdae Barron, R.J. Harvey. Which would be a bigger blow? Barron blowing out his knee day one of training camp, or Harvey blowing out his knee day one of training camp?
I think Harvey. I don't
think Harvey. It is Harvey. So who's more?
Yeah, there's more guys that can cover
Harvey.
The corner spot. Yeah, I think it's Harvey.
And that's the way the question should be asked, I think, moving forward for everybody who ever decides to ask that question again. If one guy's going to blow out his knee at the start of training camp, which guy can you least afford to have blow out his knee? And R.J.
Well, I
Harvey,
love that you went to, I love you went to the extreme measure right away on that one.
That's what it is.
If the world comes to an end today.
Okay, well, hold on.
Right.
Well, hold on a second. It's talking about the importance of the player to the team, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What would be worse for the Broncos? R.J. Harvey blowing out his knee or Ben Powers blowing out his knee? Come on, that's an easy answer.
Well, I mean,
I can go on and on and on.
I mean,
if you're talking about blowing out a knee day one, R.J. Harvey is in my top 5, top 7. Please don't happen.
Yeah.
And then you have the other 40-plus guys, and that's my point. With all due respect to Ben Powers, he's part of that other 40-plus guys. You have to have it because you have more guys. You can't go into the season with an iffy Dobbins, Estime, McLaughlin.
No, especially when it's one of two areas that you drafted or added to specifically to fill holes in the offense.
Right.
So, yeah, you're right.
Here,
yeah.
I'm going to take it a step further, Bruce. What would be worse? R.J. Harvey blowing out his knee, first day of training camp, or Cortland Sutton?
Probably Harvey, only because
that's my point.
It's a deeper room. Yeah, it's a deeper room. You can cover that position as you could at corner, as you probably could at left guard. You could cover that more with depth than a place where you probably don't have the kind of depth, which they don't at running back. Yeah.
That's going to do it for us. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Make it the best possible day you can.